Eric with Open Gate Design with another Christmas decorating tip just for you. So oftentimes we're decorating for Christmas and we get asked the horrid word, how do I make a bow? Bows are not that difficult and we want to show you how to do it. Also, I'm going to show you a couple other fun ways we can use ribbon. But first, let's get started with a bow. One thing to keep in mind is it does take quite a bit of ribbon to make a bow. 1 or 2 yards of ribbon is not even nearly enough. You probably need at least 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, depending on the size. I like to make bigger, fuller bows. So one thing I do is on the bolt, I simply start pulling off quite a bit of it like this. Makes it easy, kind of let it gather on the ground or on your table, depending on where you're at. First, we're coming up with a tail. How long do you want your tail? Some people want them short, some people want them longer. This is becoming the center of your bow where we're going to start. It's easy. All we have to do is we first create a loop. Simple. I love using wired ribbon. It makes it easy. Even if you don't, we'll show you the way we twist it here so that it does give it a little bit of life and does get a little bit of body to it. But once you have your loop, all you do is simply gather it in the middle. It's that simple. Then all you're going to do is on this other side is you can gather this right there, same size loop on the other side, just like that, and gather it together. Now what we're going to start doing is from here we'll crisscross and you're going to gather it together. What you're creating also is you want to start working your way this direction when you're making the bow. See, we started crossed, we went off to the side. Now instead of coming here, what we're going to do then is we're going to give it a quick twist. When we do that, we come back, we're going to fluff it out a little bit here. Even if you don't fluff it as you go, it's okay. We've got it crimped in the center. I use my left hand. I'm right-handed, so I use my left hand as my support. My right hand is doing majority of the work, except the left hand is really major support because it is holding all these pieces when we crimp them in the middle. So from there, we're going to make sure we go this direction now. We're going to create a loop, go to the center. We're going to then twist it, come back, and when you do this you want to make sure they're the same size. If by chance you accidentally make one that's too small, it's okay, just come back this way and create a new one. But you don't want to keep going and realize you made the mistake at the end. You want to be careful when you do this as you're creating the bow. So far we have even amounts, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It could be a beautiful bow. We could then create our center and call it done. We're going to keep making a bow with a little bit more body to it. So I am going to pull out more of my ribbon, just like so, because I don't like to deal with the ribbon as much when I'm working, so that way I pull a lot out. From there, we got our twist. We're going to start gradually making these little loops a little smaller as you go. Create that, twist it, work here, pull it to the center. I was going too small, as you can see. That's okay. I like to show you that it is okay as you're learning this, that it's going to take you a little bit of time to catch on. Create this one, twist, make your loop. As you can see, our loops are bigger out here, starting to work their way in, a little bit smaller. We've twisted it, work our way in, and you can definitely see a difference in size. Create the crisscross, back and forth and back and forth, this way, this way, this way, this way. It really works well. Then we're going to come up here, create another one. Got it. Twist it. We're almost going to be to where I'm going to call this a finished bow, but you want to have the same amount of loops on both sides. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. Now we're creating the center. What you do is when you have this, I'm going to pull these out so that you can see, is you have it gathered here. Make sure to do your twist. And this last one is a single one in the center, a single loop in the center. And it's a small one. And then you just simply create the loop like that. Now, as you can see, I'm pulling it in so this is the center. Still pull this in kind of on top, gathered here, and then make sure to have at least 12 inches of wire or longer ready to go. And what we'll do is simply right through that middle, we'll put this wire, and then make sure I'm going to transfer it over so that all of the wire goes like this into a U shape, and then we pull it really tight and we twist it several times. You want to twist this like a twisty tie on a bread bag or something like that, to where it's holding everything together. Now comes the fun part where you can create the magic of your good looking bow. And we're starting to pull all these out. And don't be afraid, because some people are like, well, I'm going to hurt it. No, you want to pull your ribbon. And you see how I'm pulling the bow, giving it life, working it down and around. And see, like our tail here, all you have to do is twist it. And then what I'm going to do is there's a couple different ways you can cut the end of your ribbon. This one, simple. You can cut it at an angle. If you want to do that, you can do that. Another easy way, fold it in half, and what you can do is from the center, as you can see, the white is my edge, from the center is your high point on it. So we're just going to cut it from the center out, and it creates a V. So that way you can do your bow like that. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just put it in half, cut towards the edge. It's really easy. You create a V. Sometimes when you're first starting this, you'll make a mistake and you'll make your V wrong. It's okay, nothing wrong with that. Just go back and cut it the right direction and you got it. So what we do is we have the tails here, they're on there. We're going to fluff our bow up, as you can see, fluff all the pieces out. And as you'll notice, I'm not just kind of doing this. I'm really working this bow and trying to get every little piece where I want it. That's why it's important to make sure that the wire is on there really, really good. So we'll fluff this bow out, all the pieces, round it out. And then, right there, we have our bow. So it's easy if you want to put it on a wreath, if you want to put it at the top of your tree, if you want to put it on a banister. It really determines, it's kind of up to you how many of these loops you want to do. I would start with just a few to start, so as you learn. But then from your wire, you can just wire it on the tree, and it can be really pretty that way. And then you can, work all your ornaments around from there. Now, I do want to show you, this is what I call the cheating bow. This right here, if this scares you, I want you to not get scared, and I still want you to do something fun. This is where I take my ribbon, something that simple, and I create a loop. And I crimp it together, create another loop, and I crimp it together, create another loop, and I crimp it together. This right here is what I'm creating is what I call my cheater bow. And you'll notice, like on here, I create it with just two. But what you do is you simply take a branch on the tree and this ribbon, and you take the wired branch of an artificial tree. Now, if you have a real tree, that's okay. Just put wire around this, twist it just like you would a regular bow, and then you can wire on your tree. But if it's a wired artificial Christmas tree, which most trees are, is you just take the branch, wrap it around, just like so, and you pull it out, and then I just work my ribbon, and I just, what I call ins and outs, and I create little curves in it and back out, just like, kind of like a slip and slide, or some other kind of roller coaster, because you want it to have a little bit of body, and you just work it just like so. So that is what I call a little cheater bow. You know, but it still looks really nice when you put it on the tree. It fills out. It's easy to do it just like that. So there's some easy bow tips just for you. We hope you watch some of our other videos because we have lots of tips that we're going to show you over the season. And we hope you have a lot of fun decorating at home.